And we really need to dive deeper and deeper into why this formation. There's a couple of college teams that just ran it like a couple of weeks ago. Did you see
Penn
that?
State ran it as their short yardage
Yeah.
package there under Franklin. Yeah.
Yeah. So all these coaches that are going to yell at us about this is not real football and this isn't going to teach anybody anything. Colleges are running this. You guys just aren't watching enough TV.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact. I mean, I think short yardage is when you watch college games, where colleges get creative is short yardage.
Right.
And that's, to me, that's the fun stuff to watch. Short yardage, goal line. That's the cool stuff for a guy like me. And I think for a guy like you as well.
Yeah, it is. And if you guys don't like that just compacted formation, then take a look at Clark Shaughnessy's Bears T and the Stanford T. He's the father of the modern T formation, and he's got a lot more motion and split outs because they were running it with the Chicago Bears. And so you can see what, if you want to run it as a short yardage package, but you also want to expand it. And some of this is in my book, actually, so you can get that. But if you want to go to the source, the Chicago Bears in the 50s, Shaughnessy at Stanford and Chicago kind of modernized what a modern T would look like. Hey, man, what's going on?
Man, doing a podcast with you, it's all good. This is a good time for me, and it's a good time for you. We're ready to go and do this thing.
We're ready to go. I think we got a good topic, and we got some new software, so bear with us. This is my first time directing and producing. Zach's been doing it, so we're trying this Restream stuff, and it's kind of cool, but it may be too complicated for this old guy. But
that's not true at all. You were a very wise person, and you were really good with tech. I think you really have a gift for that.
Yeah, but I just enough to really get in trouble. But let me show you this. This has scenes, but I want to show you this graphic that we did for the podcast, and hopefully you guys can see it. Look, you see this little football player with the football mind and that. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of that? Leave us a note in the comments of what you guys think of that little thing. I think that's our logo going forward for our dual podcast here. But I'm Coach Parker. I am a youth coach for 30 plus seasons. I now coach coaches, and this is Zach Davis, our real host, the mind of the football coach.
Oh my goodness. You know what's interesting, when I came up with that name for the podcast in 2000, oh gosh, was that 2016? I just came up with it. I didn't know what else to call it, and I guess it's kind of stuck.
You know what's really crazy? My first recruiting company after I left DDS, and we did a startup for recruiting, coloradojobs.com in Colorado, and we had a recruiting firm to do high-end software developers. Our name was Brain Scouts.
Oh shoot, that's cool.
And it was brain, and then you do this mind thing, and that's like crazy. That we're brain mind kind of stuff. We totally geeked out on that, I guess. But I think we have a very interesting topic today that is close to your heart. What is the topic?
Oh, we're going to talk about the T offense. I love the T. I go back and forth between loving the T and the double wing more, but today it's the T because we're talking about the T. So I love the T.
Yeah, the T formation, I didn't really know much about it until I wrote this book several years ago. I was running this inverted wishbone, which had some T stuff in there, and it's been very successful for us when we run that out of this multiple eye thing we do. So, but the T is crazy cool and has so many variations. It's the oldest formation. A lot of people don't know that. So yeah, I think all of us should have started out with the T, because it seems like to me when I did the research, everything kind of flows out of that into all these other offenses. And I know a lot of people are going, no way, Coach Parker, but Yahweh, I say.
Absolutely. Man, the T, if Bobby Dodd runs it, it's good.
Yeah.
I think Bud Wilkinson ran it.
But there's a whole list. And I got
all those guys.
And I have got the list, and I'm going to be biased here because I spent a lot of time writing this darn T formation book, but it's called the Tiger T formation book. It's got all these different series in there because there's so many variations of the T. But it's for Missouri Tigers because Don Farrow really introduced the option in the split T back in the late 40s. And so that's kind of where that came from. But let's get to some of this as I flip through this. There's a lot of stuff here. But as you can see, if you guys can read on the screen, and I'll put part of this on the website and link to it, all the different variations and names of the T. You've got the tight T, the old T, the gap T. It was called the regular formation because it was the first formation, the Harvard T, the split T, option T, sliding T, modern T, the Bear Chicago T, the standing T, the belly T, full house, straight T, double slot, short T, power T, dead T, Michigan T. That dead T and the Michigan T are kind of similar in cousins there. You have a lot of Michigan T kind of stuff going on with yours, right?
I learned that from a good friend of mine, and yeah, we ran it for a season.
Yeah, so there's the Arkansas T, the Diamond T, side saddle T, which is actually kind of cool. A friend of mine wrote a side saddle single wing, which is very similar. Shotgun T, gun T, spread T, pro T, wide T, shifted T, flanker T. Well, you guys could go from the rest, but as you can see, because it's so old, there is so many variations of this thing, which makes it quite interesting if you want to go through that entire list. And let me see here real quick because I can show you. I'll post this up. So here are all the resources that I used, and I won't go through them like I did the last thing. But as you can see, there's like 40 resources. So my playbook has got a ton of, if you're looking for an idea book on what the T does and series and all these funky things, this is the place. And then you have these resources. We can go back to the source. So there's my spill here. So let's get back to T formation overview. Well, you guys can read that on the screen, but I'll put Zach on the hook here. What is your view of the overview of the T formation and what makes you love it so much as a coach?
Oh my gosh. It's an old school style of offense, which is I like that best. That's just something that I like schematically. I like the look of it. It's double tight. It's three backs. It can be a misdirection offense, but it can also be a power-based offense. And then you do have good play action out of it. You can roll the quarterback out. You can run the quarterback if you want to. And it is something that I think any program can run, either as a full offense or a piece of it. And it's just so fun to call because you're not having to change the formation. You're calling plays based upon what the defense is giving you. And for me as a play caller, that's what I prefer to do is just, hey, let's call the plays that work versus what they're doing instead of trying to formation them into some other style of defense.
Right. Yeah. I think what's cool about the T formation, and I've said this before in the podcast when we've talked, that I've read and wrote so many of these offensive books that, when you look at the T formation, it's like the double wing and the flex bone are coming right kind of out of this. And
Absolutely.
They just spread the guys out. So you're saying you're running this one kind of formation, but if you're this geek like me that likes to play around a little bit, which I think a lot of these older coaches they were geeking out and moving some of these backs around. You have so many little variations for it too. But the base stuff, like you said, I agree. I run that package that I call Trig, which is just kind of a similar T and more of an inverted wishbone thing. It's such a great package. I have an 8-play package out of it. It's very powerful. And a lot of people love that series out of the Powering Beast offense, is why when you were saying I love the T, I thought, okay, the Beast and the T really kind of go together. They're kind of like step cousins there. And we really need to dive deeper and deeper into why this formation who? There's a couple of college teams that just ran it like a couple of weeks ago. Did you see
Penn
those?
State ran it as their short yardage
Yeah.
package there under Franklin. Yeah.
Yeah. So all these coaches that are going to yell at us about this is not real football and this isn't going to teach anybody anything. Colleges are running this. You guys just aren't watching enough TV.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact. I mean, I think short yardage is when you watch college games, where colleges get creative is short yardage.
Right.
And that's, to me, that's the fun stuff to watch. Short yardage, goal line. That's the cool stuff for a guy like me. And I think for a guy like you as well.
Yeah, it is. And if you guys don't like that just compacted formation, then take a look at Clark Shaughnessy's Bears T and the Stanford T. He's the father of the modern T formation, and he's got a lot more motion and split outs because they were running it with the Chicago Bears. And so you can see what, if you want to run it as a short yardage package, but you also want to expand it. And some of this is in my book, actually, so you can get that. But if you want to go to the source, the Chicago Bears in the 50s, Shaughnessy at Stanford and Chicago kind of modernized what a modern T would look like. Mm. Have you run some of the modern T, or have you just stayed in and went to another kind of formation if you wanted to do something funky?
Yeah, we had different variations. Like we would move a wing, we'd move a back to a wing. I've seen people motion one of the backs out to a wide receiver. I'm trying to get that coach on the podcast here sometime in the next month or so. And that stuff's good. And if you have an empty package or a gun package that you can use as well, that makes the T even more effective, in my opinion, because you have other options. We didn't, just because of personnel we had. But I think you could definitely add some things to it, and you could have a more dynamic offense. We were a 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and it helped us win football games, but you could definitely do more out of it than we did.
Yeah, and if you think about it, if you go into shotgun out of a T, you're in a diamond or a pistol really quick. The Don Farrow book I'm actually highlighting on my Facebook group, Plays and Formations, this week. And at the back of his book, he is splitting the two outside backs out into like flankers.
Oh,
and
nice.
So there's some interesting stuff going on there that Don was doing. So yeah, there's quite a bit there. Let's see what else we got. Anything else on the overview of why? Well, real quick, for youth, in my article on choosing a youth football offense by age, I put the T formation at 8U when you're running at the non-option level. Now, you're like, well, why would I do a non-option? Well, you can call the give, the dive, and the pitch, and the QB keep kind of thing. So you can still run all those plays, but you're helping your quarterback in the pitch, because that's where you're going to get kind of killed at, is the pitch and the read there. You can still run that as a very great youth formation, because you've got all your skill players as blocking backs back there to help out and go where you need them to go. And you have a lot of counteractions. So it's worked out great for a lot of youth teams, and that's where I recommend it. And any thoughts on that, Zach, on youth or college or high school, or other than?
Shoot, you can run at the high school level. A team that played in the state championship game in Michigan ran it.
And they're running were they running the option package?
More like the Michigan style, like no option really. Everything's it's a lot of misdirection.
A lot of misdirection of power downhill.
Some of those guys do run some like inside veer, outside veer out of it.
Right. They got the right.
And then the team out of Pennsylvania was in the, I think, Class A state championship game, and they based out of the T. So this offense, definitely at the high school level, is still making it 2 state championship games. So I would say it's definitely effective.
And here's some bias plugs here for marketing.
Oh, I like that right there.
You can QR code my Tiger book right there. I think it's only $14.99. It's 200 play diagrams in different series, and we'll show you those. So there's my plug. We'll get off that. And real quick, while I'm plugging, here's Zach's podcast QR code. You can go to the website, Apple, Spotify kind of thing there. So we'll move off of that real quick. And then if you're wanting to do it on YouTube, there it is on YouTube. All right, so let me get to the next slide here. My take is great. We went to variations. So here's my strengths,
Mhm.
and we can kind of go through the strengths. I mean, the one great thing about it is a balanced formation. So the defense, although I run unbalanced every now and then to really shake it up, it really puts the defense, they've got to play gap sound to it, right?
Yeah, and they can't overload a side because it's balanced. And that was one of the things I enjoyed calling plays in the T because if they overloaded a side, you just went the other way.
Yeah. And what
Yeah.
I found interesting in Faro's book was looking through it. He said he saw a lot of defense of like 9-2s and 9-3s. This is old school where they're just trying to shut him down
Mhm.
really fast. And that's where that pop pass comes in, coaches, that tight end pop
Oh, the
pass.
pop pass. Yes,
Let
sir.
them dive down into that box all day long. Hit the
Mhm.
tight end pop pass and then leak one of those backs out on the arrow, and I think you got it.
Mhm.
Uh, I, you know, I mean, like all power offenses, the C gap is kind of the play, right? The power.
Yeah, the C gap, and then if they're overloading the C gap, run your belly or your ISO play inside or your dive play. And then if they pinch everybody inside, run your toss play to the outside, and
Right.
there's
Yeah.
your run game.
You've got all those blockers. And I think you're going to show it later. And a friend of mine runs it out of the wishbone. He runs that wide sweep with the quarterback with the three
Yeah,
lead
you
blockers.
can get out there with a quarterback,
Yeah.
you can get out there with a fullback or one of
That's
the
a
halfbacks, all that
that's a
stuff.
tough play. The other thing, like the beast, I mean, well, any of these is you've got so many players at the point of attack. All
Mhm.
three backs or two backs are coming down. You've got that. There are not as many pass plays. I mean, but there are good ones that were going to work if the defense is going to come down like that.
Mhm.
Um, let's see what else. Yeah, there's I think it does put a lot of pressure on linebackers at the youth level to fill a hole because you're
Mhm.
coming right at them. And if you're playing a team with weak linebackers, I mean, this downhill stuff just kills everybody.
Mhm. Oh, yeah, and then you have a little bit of misdirection or a lot of misdirection depending on how you wanna do it with your backfield, and it's so versatile even though it seems very simple, which is one of the reasons I like it a lot. Yeah.
And I think that's where I wanted to talk about it more today. We'll get really deeper in another podcast. Is I didn't really like it, which was crazy because I love the Beast until I read all these books and then saw the diversity of it and what was really there. And I think
Mhm.
that's with all of us. We'll see an offense and go, we kind of put it off. But until you look at, and I said this the other day in my forum, I feel like when you pick an offense, and I said in my forum 2 to 3 playbooks you kind of have to look through. I think it's probably more like 5 to see all these different variations that are kind of occurring and you get the ideas and you can kind of see it. And I
Mhm.
think that's how I like when I look at an offense. I want to see a lot of different playbooks and to say, okay, this is the commonalities and these are the things that I don't like and these are some cool things, right? Do you do that or
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
okay, cool. I thought I was a goofball here. All right, cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm asking for playbooks from people. I'm watching film on YouTube. I've been on
Yeah,
people's schools before. I've had people come and do clinics for us at the high school
yeah.
level, all those things.
So, coaches, you see what it really takes when we're talking about like when you're choosing an offense for your team, what really the commitment you're going to have to kind of make it work. Have
Mhm.
you tried? There's the T formation and then there's the split T. Those are kind
Mm.
of two different. Have you done a split T or you've stuck with like the tight kind of T?
More the tight tee. We started in 2022 with no splits or dollar bill splits. Then we
Yeah,
went out to some wider splits, but not like split tee 3-yard splits. No,
yeah.
we never got to that.
Yeah, I haven't tried that. I am big on, and you'll see it in a lot of my formations. I split at hole that's called, or I'll do a
Mhm.
fake one, and that seems to help kind of free up a little space for the backs because most running backs want a freight train hole, and really the hole is only like that big, guys.
Right, it's not
Linemen, us
huge.
linemen, this is a hole, right?
Oh,
Right,
yeah,
coach?
for sure.
Yeah,
Well,
this
yeah, squeeze through that thing.
Yeah, squeeze through. Don't be bashing us in a huddle that there's no holes. You guys just don't know how to run a hole. That's what I'm going to tell them. All right. So, from your perspective, I got this list here we can go through, but I really don't want to go through it all. You guys can read it on the screen. What do you think the weaknesses for you? You've run it. Where are you finding some problems that you need to solve?
Oh man, I think it doesn't have a huge passing playbook, but it's bigger than you think, and it sometimes can be difficult to get to the edge. I know there's a couple of plays we ran that we liked to the edge, but it's not as there's not as many blockers on the edge. I guess
Right.
if you had a wing, it'd be one extra blocker. But man, for all the weaknesses that it could have, I think there are plays and things you can do to cover the weaknesses of that offense of the T. Just like any offense has its weaknesses, you're just trying to cover those and play to your strengths.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're doing probably a lot of kickouts on wide nines and running
Oh
underneath and
yeah,
not really
oh
trying to
yeah.
get out. I mean, if I find a lot of youth coaches, they're so gung ho. I gotta run the sweep, and they keep running a sweep into a wide nine and a backup
Mhm.
corner that's sitting there on contain. Coaches, don't run into that wall. Go underneath them if you have the opportunity. Quit
Yeah,
trying to force something if it's not there. Really.
I mean, run your off tackle play till they make an adjustment to stop it,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
run your sweep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Don't keep I know everybody wants their 20 yards, but 4-yard plays are just so nice, and you should
Oh, it's beautiful.
celebrate you really 3 to 5-yard plays should be celebrated because it really does a lot of things to wear down a defense, clock management, yeah, there's just so many other things too, but, I won't harp on that. So what else do I got here before I turn you loose? There's all the resources there that you've got, and let me get to there's a bunch of blocking, but I wanted to get to the series just so I could show you all the different series. And then we'll let all right. So yeah, these are all the formations. Here's the series. So as you can see, there's 15 series that I came up with out of all of these books. So this is the running back action. I posted this just online, and a guy gave me crap about, well, there's no blocking, and I'm like, well, this says quarterback running back action here. So
Mhm.
in the series, the
Right.
blocking
That's
is
what it
actually
says
in
up
the
top. I mean, of course, that's what
yeah,
they're teaching
it's
you.
a series kind of thing. So he didn't read it, which is so I got belly, split T veer, buck, lead ISO kind of stuff, a power lead, double dive, which I call bio. And then there's the bear where there's some motion going away. There's a halfback lead, which is a fullback kind of away sweep option, quick pitch. The
Mhm.
sniffer, which is that Homer Rice kind of thing, along with this trap T. Then there's some play action and drop back pass. So those are all the series that we've got going on. And I wanted to find this play for Zach, but I probably can't find it. It's in the BS series, which was Buck Sweep.
Ooh, buck sweep, that's a good play.
Where is it here? There it is. This is the play he showed me yesterday. It's a little bit different, or I think it's the same,
Mhm.
but it has been mine. This was your favorite play, right? You showed me this.
Oh, yeah, we'd fake it to the fullback and then hand it back to the other back, and
Yeah,
our fullback was a 1,500-yard rusher, so people keyed him. So
yeah.
this was a good counter play for us.
So I just wanted to show you guys before we get into his high school playbook that these plays are in mine. They're just kind of toned down for youth, and you've got a lot of them. I do give you real quick in the whole thing. Let me go back to this. I do move these down into I pick I pick a base 8, 16, and then a 24. So there are 200, but I try to pick ones that I would probably start out with. The 24 are crazier plays, more spread out and kind of stuff like that. But
Mm.
yeah, so that's my take on the T and what we've got going on. Like I said, I run it as a package, works out great. I think you could run it as a full blown offense. even at youth. Like I said, I recommended about 8U. And the reason I just recommend it only at 8U is there are 3 backs in the backfield in the T that have to kind of know what's going on. If you only have 2 that know what's going on, the T may be a little bit too much, right, Zach?
Yeah, you got to have 3. Well, I mean, more than 3, because if one guy gets hurt, you need another guy to
Yeah,
go in.
so you kind of have to be careful there. So I'm thinking by 8U, most of the guys you may have it, but if you really don't have those 3, it might be tough. Let's see here. Let me get back over here. I'm running 2 screens today. Hey, before we go too much further, I know we've been lax in this in the past, but please like, subscribe, share, comment. Just say hi in the comments. Help us out in the algorithm. We actually did get a good comment from our website today for a guy that wants to meet up with Zach, who like lives 30 minutes from you, is what he said.
Yeah, I saw that. I'll send
Yeah,
an email back, and I
yeah,
hope
and I got a
we can
guy
connect.
that it was weird this week too. I got a guy that wants to meet for lunch next week. So that's great. So we're available. We love to talk football. Please like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. All right. So enough of my selling and marketing
Oh
of my
man,
stuff. Now we're gonna get to the T formation guru. Is that what we should call you here?
no, I learned from people who were gurus, and then ran it, and I think I definitely will run it or some variation of it in the future.
All right. Well, you youth guys, we're gonna let Zach, the high school guy, go for it here, and hopefully there's high school and college coaches listening to us, and hopefully we have something to share, and you guys can learn. If not, please comment when we're comment and tell us we don't know what we're doing, and we can get back to that. All right, here you
That's
go.
awesome.
Off you go, man.
Yeah, so I'll go over a couple of base plays of the power tee, or some people call it the Michigan tee. The first one is a trap play, and you can see the blocking rules there. I won't go through all those, but I think a picture is worth 1,000 words. So you get into, there's your tee, foot to foot splits. The backs actually, when you run this version, their split is based upon like their arm length. So they stick their arm out to the side, and they
Yep.
basically bump fists, and those are their splits. And then this action, this is the same for the core, really 4 plays. So you have trap, power, quarterback, keep, which is the quarterback sweep, and then keep pass. And all those plays look the same. So the fullback's path is the same guard is pulling. This play side back to the right is doing like the same motion, and then he adapts that based upon what the play is. So it's really hard for a defense to see what play that is in the first couple steps. They have to recognize it as the down progresses.
Right.
And that's a really cool thing about it, is it's a very series based.
Right.
And if you have smaller linemen, it's really good because it gives you angles and double teams, and it really allows you to control the clock, and you get big plays, because if people start playing like you were saying, a 9-2, that
Yep.
ball pops, and that's a touchdown.
Yeah, you're gone.
You're gone. And so here's a trap play. We're going to kick the first guy past the guard,
Yep.
and really head up to outside the guard. If he's inside the guard, we'll block him
Right.
down. It'll hit one hole wider.
Have you wedged this with the same action in the backfield? Because you
Yes.
couldn't trap before. Does that work
Yep.
too?
Works definitely like on the goal line. If
Okay.
they're blitzing people, running them through, just wedge it and hand it to them, and
Right.
there you go. And just a really, really easy play to install. It's trap. I know a lot of guys run trap. Your tight ends are working for linebackers. Your play side tackles working to the play side linebacker. Your right guard and center are doubling to the backside, and your backside tight end scooping, and he'll probably get to a safety. And then your fullback is stepping with his play side foot. The quarterback gives him the midline. He takes the handoff and he cuts into what we call the funnel. And he's running at like the left foot of the center, and then he bends it to like the 2 hole.
Right.
And then the quarterback and the left halfback here are faking like they're running power, and then the quarterback fakes like he's keeping the ball. And his fake's the same for all of these. Like he's sprinting like he has the football on the quarterback keep. and this is like the play you install first, and this is the play you come back to, even on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, run trap.
So
Because the
yeah,
big hit
is
is
this
going.
like the power eye as a fullback? I'm kind of following the guard's butt and then cutting inside of him.
Yep. I mean, you want him
Yeah,
to hit that thing tight and then
yeah,
really run the funnel. Like, don't bounce it outside.
yeah,
You're going
yeah.
because the
You want to
fullback will
cut
see the
inside his butt. Yep, yep.
yep. Then you'll see the block from the tackle, and then cut off his butt. And then we would say too, like, run into darkness because you know the daylight is coming. So like you're going to
Yeah,
run it. It's going to be there's not going to be much of a hole, and then you bend it in the funnel, and then there's your
yeah. That's a great run into the darkness because that is so true, especially for the fullback. I mean, he doesn't usually have holes, so
no.
I played it so
He's
long there.
he's got to trust it develops,
Yeah,
and
and help it
it doesn't
develop.
always, but when it does, it's a big play, or it's a good play. It's a 4 to 5 to 10-yard play.
So, in high school, how deep are your backs from the quarterback's butt? Are
Depends on
they
how well, depends on how fast they are. Uh, we put their toes at 4 yards from the ball.
okay?
Um,
So, yeah, so at youth level, just real quick, I know a lot of guys will take the high school and college depths. You really at youth need to adjust that a little bit because your guys aren't as big and their steps aren't as big. And I see a lot of guys at 5 yards, whatever. And it's like,
oh
guys,
no,
I mean, you're not going to get away with that. So if the high school's at 4, you guys may be at 3, right? Because they're smaller players.
hmm you
So
wanted to hit
that's,
quick.
yeah. So
Oh,
make
sorry.
sure you adjust that.
Yeah, for sure. The guy I learned this from, he learned it from another guy, and they would put a stopwatch on when the ball broke, so like when the ball was snapped, and
Yeah.
then when the ball
Yeah.
broke the line of scrimmage, and they wanted it to be, I forget what the number was, but it was quick. They wanted that ball to
Oh, I'm
get through the
sure.
line of
Yeah,
scrimmage very
you
fast.
want it to hit quick so the blocking doesn't have to hold very long.
Mhm,
The
mhm.
deeper your backs are, the longer it takes them to get the hold, the longer your youth guys have to hold the blocks if you're youth
Right.
coaches. So
Mhm.
I love hit the like your coach that was teaching you. I want to hit the ball like a half a second to a second. I want to be there.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that quarterback's got to be quick. They can't be taking false steps in the backfield. Boom, 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 downhill.
Mhm.
So do you have your guys
Absolutely.
in 3-point stances? I saw some
Yep.
film.
All
You've got
3
you
backs are
all
3-point
3 in like a
stances.
fullback stance leaning forward or
Mhm.
sort of leaning?
Balanced. Um, the fullback can have more weight on his hand than the other
Right,
guys because the
right.
halfbacks have to be able to move laterally more.
Okay.
But yeah, they're
Yeah,
all in 3-point stances. And then I can share a link to like a highlight tape we have of this season. And then there's a link to a game on YouTube later in the year. It's a full game from that same season. And at that point, though, we were running more of like a belly offense. So 2 different flavors of the T in the same year.
yeah, so we'll try to get that on the deal, or you can try to share that in private chat, and I can try to get them up, or we can move
Yeah, we
on.
can definitely do that.
All
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
so that trap play looks good. You said you had 4, huh? So you got the other one loaded up and
Yeah,
ready to
let's
go?
do that. I'll go through it. So it's a couple variations there. And then here's our power play. So
There we
as it,
go.
as you can see, you have the play side halfback kicking out, the fullback's faking trap, the quarterback is reversing out, handing to the left halfback. Then he's running like he has the ball like a keep play. And the backside guards wrapping through the hole, and you're double teaming, blocking down the front side. And you're making sure on the backside you're cutting off, making sure there's no penetration. And this is the play that trap's a good play, and trap can hit for a big run, but this is the play you probably run the most.
Yeah.
Is power.
If you guys notice, the guard is wrapping and the
Mhm,
back is the kick. So just as a
mhm,
FYI on that, it's maybe a little bit different there. But I love this play.
mhm.
This is bread and butter right here.
Oh, this is old school football. This is power. This has been run for forever, and it's one of my favorite plays. That down and kick.
Yeah, like I told
Let's
you
go get it.
yesterday, I kind of like the double dive where I'm sending the fullback and that outside back. I feel like in youth I'm wasting the buck because the linebackers aren't really reading it, and I would
Mhm,
double lead on that there. But Yeah, that's a definitely a great play. And if you think about it, it's the same kind of double wing play that everybody runs too. I mean, everybody's running
Mhm.
this play out of what, 8 different formations.
Oh, yeah. I mean, gap scheme, power,
Yeah,
however you wanna
this is
term
all
it.
there.
Yeah.
So do you install this play first? Is this when you install, is like this the first one?
Trap is first, then power, then keep, which we'll get to, then keep
Okay.
pass. Because it's all in that series. Yep.
And you were saying, and I know from experience, playing fullback in high school, that fullback, you're trying to get him tackled.
Oh,
So,
yes.
yeah, that
Yes.
fake has to be that's the one thing. Remember, coaches, one good fake is worth 2 blocks, maybe 3. So you're wanting your fullback to really, like, he's got the ball because you've
Mhm.
set that trap play up. So, yeah, you should get those 2 linebackers, hopefully, running after that fullback.
Absolutely. Yeah, you want him running, like, through the line of scrimmage like he has the ball. That's the one of the keys to it.
So let me ask, do you have anything does he do any motion or how he leans to help that fake, or you're telling your quarterback to do something on that? Is there anything special there? Do you get
Not
them to
really. It's a proximity fake. Like, quarterback's not
right?
faking the ball to him,
Okay,
but
he's not stuffing and pulling.
no, because it happens
Okay.
too fast.
It happens too fast. That's
It
good to
happens too
know.
fast, yeah.
That's good to
Um,
know.
you don't want the ball extended to the quarterback wants to seat the football, hand it to the left halfback in this picture, and then he's acting like he has the ball sprinting to the edge. So you have 2 guys acting like they have the ball plus the ball carrier.
So he's actually faking the play side sweep.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, versus
Mhm,
booting out.
mhm.
That's
Yeah, it's
very
beautiful.
good. That's very good, and it sets up a pass for that outside kick
Mhm.
on that halfback. He could leak after that bump on that guy, and then, yeah, so there's a lot of cool plays out of there, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome stuff. You got that? You gonna show me that play?
Yeah, I will, and here's the keep.
Here's the
So
key.
now the right halfback, instead of kicking out, logs the end. The left guard now works for the outside linebacker, corner, whoever's the D gap player, and then the fullback's path is the same. And then the left halfback is going to fake it and then bend it back. And probably not this extreme like it's drawn in the picture, but he's going to bend it back to try to get linebackers to think maybe he cut the ball back. And then here comes the
Okay,
quarterback
so he's
to the
gonna
edge.
basically make kind of the buck trying to get the middle one of the middle linebackers there.
Yep.
Yeah.
He doesn't always, but and then the backside, you're hinging like your goo hinge we talked about last
Yeah,
night.
yeah. That's a great
Yep.
that goo hinge is such a good block for the
And
backside
they
to cut off that.
that is so key too because you don't want the backside people running down and tackling the quarterback. So they have to do a really good job doing
Oh,
that so
yeah,
the
because
quarterback
he's
doesn't get
making
hit.
some extra action there. Yeah, I can see
Mhm,
why you versus pulling your tight end around into A, you definitely want a goo hinge on this play
mhm,
because the quarterback is doing a little bit spinny stuff in the
mhm,
middle there before he takes off.
mhm. And then let me get you so here's some dives, belly. I'll get you 2 passing. There we go. So there's a boot off it, which is actually opposite
Yep.
of the action.
Yeah.
Um, fullbacks in the flat, tight ends, the left tight ends to the corner, other tight ends running over, the right halfbacks running like a post. Um, so there's the boot, which we ran some, but the main pass play
Let's see the main
is
one.
the keep pass. There we go. So it's right there. Um, and we'd send like we run it to the left. So it's 20, like our 20 series was our pass plays.
Uh-huh.
So or our play action pass plays. So the left halfback's running a corner. The left tight end is blocking down for a count. Then he's working out to the flat, and the quarterback's faking like he's running, trap power keep, and then he's
Yeah.
running the keep pass. And that left halfback is wide open a couple times a game,
Yeah,
usually.
those halfbacks coming out, especially youth coaches, halfbacks coming out on routes, if you get the time, those are always open. And
Always,
that
100%.
Gronkowski, block down, I got that from the Patriots, I call it zipper.
Hmm.
That route is killer also at
Hmm.
youth because they think he's blocking, and if he actually does the half block and then comes out, he's usually open. if he just goes, he's not. So but yeah, love that play. We run that in a different formation, but that combo is really good. I know a lot of guys get mad at me, but you could leak that backside tight end as a crosser.
Oh, for sure.
If you're one to add a route, that's a little harder at youth, but if some of you guys like to run that Y cross or X cross back there.
And then I'll give you, so this is the basic drop back pass out of it.
Yeah.
Is Michigan pass, which is the two tight ends on corners, and the right halfback is running down the middle of the field. And if they are a too high team, this is getting run early. So the quarterback is faking like his actions 46, like 46 power. Fullback's going to fill to the left halfback's filling to the right. And we've hit that guy down the middle a couple times because if they're split safeties, that's coming early.
That's a nice pass. Faroe had that same play, but your L and R do swing screens.
Oh, nice. I like that.
Yeah, that was interesting there. So yeah, same routes by your Y and X, and then the L and R did little swings, and then the fullbacks picking up whatever there. So yeah, so there. Well, yeah, I guess you got this from probably Michigan T because that is the Michigan pass.
That's a Michigan pass, and then we actually, as the season went to more of like base blocking. We didn't use these terms, but like a base block me, a double team at the point of attack,
right?
An ISO block, the tackle pull play where you just pitched it to the halfback.
Yeah, I love that tackle scoop pull. We did that one year with a very athletic basketball offensive tackle, and he was so quick we could pull him. So good stuff.
And then we ended up running. The fullback was a 1,500-yard rusher. He was our best guy, so we featured him more with like the play here, 34 halfback kick. And then him running ISO. Yeah, I mean, it was
because that's becoming more like veer an option right there, but you're just calling him to dive.
Yeah, we never ran true option, but it looked like we did.
Yeah,
because we had some plays where we would pull it and pitch it, but we were calling that instead of letting the quarterback read it.
So he's reverse pivoting, or I call it spin. So he's about a yard away from the line. He's not close, like an option, like a true option.
Yeah,
he's kind of bellied up into the backfield to get those handoffs, right?
Yeah, he's stepping there at with his left foot. He's getting to like 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And he's handing it to the fullback who's aiming at the hole, right? So we would call that, like this playbook called that the 4 hole. We call that the 6 hole. This was a playbook I got from our middle school coach, actually, who ran the T for a long time, but he had different hole numberings. But we tell the fullback, just aim at the hole you're running at, and you'll get the handoff there.
Because you've got the quarterback's responsibility to get to the proper angle for the back. The back is always on the right path.
Right.
That's where that's how we did. The backs are always on the right path. It's the quarterback's responsibility to time it and get it there.
Right. That back is running at the hole, and he is
moving.
Yes.
He's moving.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So youth guys, I talked to a guy yesterday at lunch who runs my system, and he runs trig and some other things, and he was trying to spin with double wing, and his quarterback could not get the spin, and they were getting caught in the backfield because of that slow. So if your quarterback can't quickly make those spins, you really, really need to rethink kind of what you're doing there, because it can't be slow by the quarterback.
And then there's the play where we're faking to the fullback and handing it to the other back. That was a good play for us. It's just ISO, but you're faking like counter in the backfield.
Yeah, not only is this one of my favorite plays, but I absolutely love cross buck. It is such a great name. The Knights, KYA Knights, our rival ran this play out of split cross buck. If you've got two backs that can do it, a quarterback that knows what it is, a hard play to defend.
Oh, for sure.
It is really hard to defend. And you've got to pick up a key by one of the backs. My son picked up a key that one of the backs would point a toe. Otherwise, we'd have been hurting. Love the dog.
Yeah,
Love
tackle
that
pull,
name. Yeah,
get
love
the
this.
ball out quick.
And what's so good is you've got the spin and the reverse pivot to the two backs, and then you
Mhm,
got one back. He's just free.
mhm. And this is
And
surprisingly, this was a short yardage play for us because people would pinch down and they play that end really tight, and
yeah,
we got our tackle out on a corner, and man, we ran it a bunch on 4th and 2, 4th and 1.
yeah. I'll have to cut up
Yeah.
that one video you showed where the big 6'8" guy was pushing two
Oh, my
kids onto the
man,
ground.
just
That was really nice.
crushing people. Yeah, it's awesome.
So does that back, for me, real quick on dog,
Mhm.
is he going to take a counter step and then go to
No, he's
sell
going
it?
right now.
He's just going right now, and they're going to get it
The
out.
quarterback reverses out, like, all the way around, like a
Right,
180
right.
almost, and he
Yep,
pitches that
yep.
thing deep and wide.
Okay,
Mhm, mhm,
okay. Because I could see me taking 2 steps, that back kind of reverse pivoting out, and then
mhm,
getting a little depth, and maybe doing that too is a little different test on that. So,
mhm.
but
Yeah,
that,
you
yeah,
could.
that's a great little play. I like the plays where all action's going one way and you've got a back that goes the other, because if they break contain on the
Mhm,
defense, you've got them.
mhm. And then let's see, where is there we go. There's your, sprint pass, right? So the quarterback's reversing out, rolling to the right.
Oh yeah, I love this right here. This
Mhm,
stuff is amazing to me. I love this. The first back goes and leaks, the second back blocks, and then you've got another
mhm,
deep route, and then you've got this drag coming across, and then the quarterback can hold or go.
mhm. He could run. It's a
Yeah,
run pass option.
yeah, I love
If you can
that's
run, run, take off.
yeah, yeah. Because if they're in man, I mean, he may be free for 6 or 7 yards before they see him taking, doing anything.
Mhm.
Great
And
play,
then
great play.
you can, fake your crossbuck too and
Oh, I like
throw
this.
to him down the seam. Um, so yeah, that's a good play too. Yeah, that's a very,
So did
very
you
good play.
find when you ran this play that back gets tackled and you don't have that option, or he was open? What was your
It's
take on that?
interesting. Our middle school ran this play,
Uh-huh.
but we ran the Michigan pass off it, so we had 3 people out. Does that make sense?
Right.
So the tight ends ran the corners, because we felt like, man, if you just have 1 guy out, that's a problem. So we
Right.
wanted to put 3 guys out in the route. Mhm.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. So that's it. That's our stuff right there.
Let's see what we got here. Well, so that's the T formation. I guess we'll go into maybe a little bit deeper on some harder plays and film in the future.
Mhm.
If you guys like, let us know. I'm going to steal this Rich Eisen thing from his show. Thanks for watching here to the end. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Real quick, remember to like, subscribe, all that good stuff, comment, let us know if we know what we're talking about or if we're just totally off the beaten track. Please leave us those comments. What else you got, Zach? What else? What do you think our next podcast should be on? I know Dave. I talked to Caesar and he's wanting to do single wing maybe in some December time frame. So
I think that
should we
sounds
bring him
awesome.
back?
Yes, I like Coach Caesar, man.
Yeah.
He's great, and I think the listeners and the people that watch it will like him too.
Yeah, so we'll I'll try to hit him up. I talked to him earlier. So I think we'll try to get him wrapped up this week for the next. He wants to go into his whole single wing clinic spiel, which I think will be great. So we've got that, and always a pleasure.
It is always a pleasure to be with you, Coach. I appreciate you.
I love how it's not snowing there in Baltimore with that background. What is the weather
It
there?
definitely is.
Yeah, it's
It
like
is. It's cold
35.
and there's snow.
It's 35 here, so it must be cold there.
It's
Well,
a little chilly.
I guess we're out. I'm Coach Parker, youth coach. Remember to play for fun and winning is funner. And you are
Zach Davis, high school coach, and if you like you like this episode, we can definitely go into more depth with some film, and that would be fun too.
that'd be great. Hey, we'll see you guys next time. Over and out.